Artie Lang reporting from the 33rd floor of the gorgeous, beautiful, brand new $6.69 studio live from the Michigan Wolverine National Championship studio overlooking beautiful Lake Superior. Bitcoin rallies $66 and $69 overnight, greater than 10% pump. Is this the end of the bear market consolidation or the start of the greatest fleece job orchestrated and executed by the criminal gangsters on the retail cryptocurrency traders in history? Jackie, the joke man, marteling questions. Old Vincenzo, is your short trade on Bitcoin in jeopardy? Absolutely unequivocally not. We must stay the course, rally the troops. The criminal gangsters want to push us out of the market prior to 2 to 3x returns. Subscribe down below, share, and super chat to continue the truth and integrity information. As the sun sets over Lake Superior, casting a golden glow over the studio, Artie reflects on the day's events, pondering the future of cryptocurrency and the resilience of those who seek to uncover.
Subscribe down below, like and share. Good 20th of April, if we can believe this already. Steadily marching our way into the summertime season. After a gorgeous, glowing, spectacularly beautiful sunrise with the crystal clear early springtime blue skies with some high puffulous cumulus nimbus clouds streaming in from the west after this Canadian air mass has infiltrated the central Illinois region with a current temperature of 41 degrees J at the Central Illinois Airport in Bloomington. And we ask you to bell notification and comment down below and share to continue to heist, fleeced, and shiced the criminal gangsters, the overters and subverters of the retail trader and investor that have infiltrated the world banking system, United States government, and Federal Reserve, right? And that's what this truth and integrity and education and information is all about. Is Bitcoin is up 0.07%. XLM, Algo, and the H-bar and the XRP are up 2.92, 1.21, 3.03, and 1.78 respectively from bottom to top. XRP, H-bar, Algo, and XLM respectively today. AMP has, after a nice 20% pump the other day, tried to give it all back and is starting to pump, but we are your number one XRP gold and silver bullion insider. Yes, gold and silver bullion. And we beg you and I implore you to find a better value of education, truth, information for $3.69 a month. Yes, members of Jabroni Kelsey. Fleece, heist, and shice the criminal gangsters to keep this truth, information, and education in a super simple and easy way to technically trade this market, right? And that, I mean, there's just no better value if you get out there for the simplest, the super simple and easy way I break this down for you to support a channel for $3.69 a month. I mean, you can't beat it, right? Look at the dinosaur, he knows, this old dinosaur back there. But if we break down this Bitcoin price, and that's what we're all here for in this brief, quick technical analysis, because I am at work again. That's right. We're here building America, right? But you can see where we're at in the weekly. We've been on a massive pump. We're going to go into the daily time frame, and off that massive pump, we are in that mountain double top. And that mountain double top that we had here, we had our major mountain double top here that we forecast. And you can see this, your technical target, and a quick technical target, as my phone battery is dying, would be the neckline down there from the top of the double top to the neckline. And that got you down to about $20,000, and it did fulfill that target. And then we were in this long rising channel consolidation for the better part of going back into the daily time frame for the better part of 2 years. We really started this back here on our first initial dump, really, in November of 2022. And now all the way in April of 2024, we are still in this. And this is sort of that conveyor belt or turtle bullish topping out reversal pattern, which is bearish after the buyers or the bulls become exhausted and the sellers or the bears take over the market. The price is going to come down. And that is where you have this big hump and then this big conveyor belt, which is the rising channel and consolidation. You can see that's sort of like the tortoise's head. See how that's shaped like that if his head was facing this way. And then it's a bearish continuation pattern at the top. Is a rounding top is often noticed. And if we zoom into the daily time frame, you can see a local rounding top now in the long enough time frame. We're going to get rid of that because it's cluttering up my chart. And we all understand we're talking about the price coming down. And then we have some ground clutter down there that we'll get rid of here. And wow. And you can see this sort of rounding top pattern taking place after this big pump, a rounding top in the daily time frame. The volume continues to go down as the price continued to rise. That's a hidden divergence in the bearish sense because you have a steadily decreasing price with a steadily increasing or a steadily decreasing volume and a steadily increasing price. Is a hidden in disguise bearish divergence, right? And you notice the rounding top as the buyers or the bulls become exhausted and the sellers or the bears attempt to take over the market. The price is going to come down. And that's exactly what's happened ever since the fateful day of the top near about March the 17th, because I was a couple of days before that, a little more ground clutter there, about March the 17th. And now we're fighting for dear life and we're putting in our first green daily candle after a steadily onslaught of the sellers or the bears trying to take over the market. And we had our reversal candle 2 days ago on the 18th and now, or the 19th, and now on the 20th, we're trying with a nice more forceful candle as we attempt to just trade into this range. And if you notice our pattern that we had laid out for you, because we're on top and we're 69.69 steps ahead of those fleece heisters and criminal gangsters, we put this pattern back up when the price was still sitting up here at 70,000. Inside when we crash where our support and resistance was, and we might trade within this range right no, we wanted to make it a different color, trading within this range right there. We thought we might do that, and now the price did come down, briefly broke down to some major support, had a couple of wicks just above this 58,729 and 61 cents, and now we may in fact trade into this consolidating triangle before the next leg to the downside, right? And if you want to get bullish, obviously you got to get on top of this $66,196.69. But I do think eventually in the next 1 to 2 weeks, maybe potentially 3 weeks, I do think what we're trying to simply say here to tell my audience, I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I play one on this radio show. This is strictly education, entertainment, on how to manipulate and fleece, heist, and shice the criminal gangster cartel. And that's all I'm trying to do here is educate and inform you on my own personal opinions on the market, right? And that's what we're doing here. But I do think with these big, beautiful arrows, as old Vincenzo, where this big blue arrow is, did take a short position on BITI. It's the ETF, but it's the inverse or the short, thinking the price may come down because I do have a short to medium range target of this uptrending support of this rising channel. And if it hits it about where I think it may, it's uptrending, but I think we're going to hit near 49,259 and 96 cents over the next several weeks in jagged up and down fashion. But we did get a good entry price, so we have room for it to crash, room for those 10% and 20% moves, and we still have the cushion, right? So that's what we're looking at, and that's what I'm thinking is going on in the Bitcoin price, right? And then if we go into the XRP price, you can see the XRP price. And I probably should have bought some of this because I've been talking about it for several days now. And now you can see this pump that is actually taking place. And we'll see how much of a pump we can get. But it's already been pretty nice as we've been fighting for dear life on the bottom part of the XRP's rising channel. And then from the support level, it's up 6%. And you can see on any of the wicks, though, it could be up about 12%. But if we look at what the XRP is looking like, the XRP is similar in the same pattern as the Bitcoin price, but the XRP price, and we're going to go back to this beautiful different color blue because it just makes it stand out a little bit better. You can see this down here. We're at the bottom part as the Bitcoin price. Oh, God, I always do that. The bottom price, the Bitcoin price, is trying to fight back and get back on top of its rising channel and stay bullish. The XRP price had a massive flash flush, just like they like to do there and way back here, and it slipped below it, but managed to stay above that critical 37 cents. Now it's fighting on it, and if we zoom into it, into the 2-hour time frame, you can see we had this long, lengthy consolidation for about 2 days where it really did nothing, stayed within the same range, and now it's attempting to break out of that range and fight into the moving averages, something that we talked about yesterday, where we could have a hyper pump up to about this 58 to 62 cents, which would be a 30% move. But it does have overhead moving averages that are going to try to fight it on its way down. down, but that is something that you want to watch out for, because you might have a nice little quick pump back into this blue trading area, but the risk is you could slip it at any time and have a forceful quick flush down to 36, 37 cents in the matter of only a few minutes. And that is something that I'm paying attention to, and I'm going to keep you on top of, and we're going to understand that as we continue to watch this market. But I do believe before you do make new highs, or the highs from last year, not new all-time highs, but the high from the manipulation, the highs from the orchestration and the facilitation of the judge that pumped here and got a lot of people that bought in on the momentum, that bought in on the hype train, baby, that bought in on the Saturday night, and they went all in, baby, because the judge, Torres, blew off the case, and the SEC was folding, according to these fleece heisters and shysters, old Vincenzo. I bought it again. I know you told me not to buy. I know you told me to wait for a better motherfucking opportunity, but I bought the hype train. I bought the momentum, and I bought the fleecers and the $100 million paid promoters, and then I got wrecked. And then I lost 70%, and now I'm down here begging you, Vincenzo, imploring you to get me back on track, to get me back into a state of mind, into a state of control, to fight off these criminal gangsters, because I didn't listen, and I had to have that rant. But unlike you, my old beautiful audience and the growing new members, you don't have to be that guy that buys the momentum. You don't have to be the guy that buys the hype. You can be the guy with a super simple and easy game plan to technically trade this market, because we've been looking at this overall pattern ever since we drew it out when it came down off this flush. And this is how super simple and easy old Vincenzo's patterns are. When we traded off this flush, we were in this consolidation, and the pattern was a consolidation that was a symmetrical triangle consolidation, and it was just a normal consolidation. It wasn't a descending symmetrical triangle or a rising symmetrical triangle. It was just at a 90-degree angle at the entry, and you had the V-shaped formation, right, with the underneath support and then the overhead resistance. You had a flat underneath support, stationary, and then you had a descending overhead resistance. And then we just sort of traded into the apex and had a massive pump right there, right? But not, and then we, after that massive pump and we hit here, we're like, all right, this broke out of this pattern, and here's what we're in now until we see something else. And ever since this point, at about February of 23, so better than a year and a quarter, almost a year and a half now, we've just had this. If you watch any XRP video, the color may have changed. I may have brought it from green to orange or orange to blue, but these rising channel has been the pattern we've been talking about, regardless of the judge pump, regardless of the hype train, regardless of the paid promoters that are here to fleece, heist, and shiest you, the retail trader. Old Vincenzo never changed his game plan and never said we were going to all-time highs, always stayed level-headed and never changed the pattern here, because we haven't broken the structure of the pattern yet. Even though we wicked down, we haven't confirmed a breakout yet to the downside. So this pattern is still what we are playing. And as long as we're in this pattern, you have an upper end potential of 83 cents, but you have major overhead resistance sitting at 58 cents, or the bottom part of that blue trading zone. And I need you not to be like that man that got fleeced, Jay. I need you to bell notification member, see Jabroni Killer, to help you set up that game plan. Peace and love to this beautiful audience.